Oh, he didn't mislead you on purpose, Thomas. I don't think the little guy, or the big frog, is capable of that sort of thing. He may have just threatened the life of Broadway's original Aaron Burr himself, but you leave our rosy-cheeked riveter alone. Patton, I'm loving this new direction that you're going with your rhetoric, sprinkling in a few maybes, who knowses, or what do you think? Why are you doing that?
Because I found out that I was being too tough on Thomas and it was driving him hopping mad. So, I tried to share my thoughts in a softer way.
Right, because making Thomas feel inadequate for not dying in someone else's stead isn't tough at all. Here's the thing, Patton. Pushy is pushy. That faux flexible rhetoric that you're using to soften your approach doesn't change your intentions. It just disguises them.
That was just a hypothetical. Patton's not actually suggesting that Thomas should pursue martyrdom. Right, I don't want Thomas to croak. That's my job.
We're talking about what-ifs, worst-case scenario kind of stuff.
What I am saying is Thomas has a really good life that other people don't. You remember they're talking about putting on your oxygen mask before helping another passenger, but we're not in a crashing plane. If the situation was that serious, then sure, he can focus entirely on himself. But does he deserve it? I don't know. And I don't know if I can believe whatever you tell me. Treating yourself is something that you can take too far.
You can take
Is the Thomas figure okay?
You've taken things too far. The plane is going down. You need to give Thomas some room to breathe. I really don't know what I'm talking about. I can't not know. Patton, what are you saying? We can still beat him. We've beaten him before. Ow! Sorry, I have not looked in this direction the whole time. Can you give up now? No. He's right. I'm bringing this plane down. What? How? He's the actual snake on the plane. And I, for one, am tired of this morality-fighting snake on this metaphor of the plane. You know, I'm actually glad you brought up the oxygen mask illustration again, Patton. And that means you're not glad, right? Of course not. He's just trying to build up a false confidence in you so that you can plummet to even greater depths. That does sound like a very funny, wholesome prank, but no, I mean it. The idea is that you need not reach for your oxygen mask unless the plane is crashing. But when you apply that logic to real life, the analogy falls apart. A plane going down is an emergency. But self-care shouldn't be put off until you experience a mental health crisis. Mental health management is a little more like training to be a lifeguard. You have to spend time practicing and preparing and building up your strengths so that when you're inevitably faced with an emergency, you're better equipped to handle it. Wait, but you just used a job that's all about helping others as a metaphor for me putting myself first. Yeah, Joy! I realized that before you brought it up. Just as I'm sure you realize a metaphor someone makes up on the spot isn't going to be perfect. How about this? So, in some games, you have to use your turn to give yourself a power boost or to heal yourself. And even though that move only benefits you in that instant, it ultimately makes you a more helpful party member. Oh, not that anyone is unharmed, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm just here to deliver one last fact, then I will do you all a favor and spare you my company. Oh, Logan, Peter Singer is an Australian philosopher and activist who champions the movement known as effective altruism. The primary feature that differentiates effective altruism from other moral philosophies is its practicality. It employs the heart and the mind so that effective altruism can earn its namesake and actually be effective. The aim is to help as many people as possible while maintaining a perfectly adequate standard of living. So, a poor, sick person giving 5 of their last 15 cents to an aid organization, while incredibly altruistic, is not effective
effective altruism because that money won't go very far, and the act would only harm that person's already unacceptable standard of living. Fellow effective altruist William McCaskill recommends that people who can, and are inclined to, should go into fields like banking or finance because more money earned means more money to give.
Right, like I said, I need to give myself a buff so that I can better help others.
And you need to maintain an adequate standard of living. You can't forget that part. If the variety of generosity that you subscribe to leaves you feeling depressed or like your life isn't your own, then you need to reevaluate things.
What do you know? If it came down to video games or volunteering at a local shelter, it actually might be okay to prioritize gaming sometimes, if video games are an essential ingredient in your recipe for self-care. Emphasis on the sometimes, though, right? We should still try to help those in need. Whatever, sure, if that's your thing. I mean, totally, yes, of course. But mental health should be regarded with the same life or death attitude as physical health. You've been taught to feel guilty for taking care of yourself.
I feel like
You were
anxiety
also
should
taught
be in this
that Christopher
conversation. You
Columbus
know,
was a
Virgil?
pretty cool guy.
This guy?
A lot of your education was, of course, forgive the pun. So what? We're supposed to do a complete 360 and head right back into Selfish City? You mean a 180? Don't you talk to me about math. You're not Fogan anymore. That's Faux Logan. If you're too slogan, you're right. So why don't we move on to something we're both familiar with, Roman? Mistakes. I was actually very impressed with you. You made such a noble sacrifice. Don't try to flatter me, Snake. I don't need to flatter you now, Roman. I mean this. You, in particular, made a significant sacrifice when you sentenced Thomas to attend the wedding instead of the callback. That was a costly choice. Thomas lost a huge opportunity and a good amount of mental health points in the name of being there for his friends. He didn't get anything out of it other than a new high score in Word Crush. That's the closest to an act of true selflessness that I believe is possible. And look, it served no one. Lee and Mary Lee seem to have appreciated Thomas showing face as much as they would have appreciated any other guest's attendance. So if they gained nothing, and we lost something, then it was a net loss. So maybe selflessness isn't always the answer. Okay, well, that's over and done with, so what now? You need to unlearn that selfish is a dirty word, and for your sake, you need to start practicing a little more selfishness. In moderation, as all things should be. Well, almost all things. What do you mean by almost all things? You're right. We wouldn't want to plant too many trees. Just think of all the CO2 that might be absorbed. Huh? You got me there. Well, when did it... Trees? No, selfishness! How long must we act selfishly until Thomas is ready to start putting more good into the world? A good question for another time. But I'm sure you'd have us believe that that time will never come. And even if it does, what's to stop you from telling us that we've done enough good for others, when maybe we could do more? Oh, Thomas dropped a dime in the St. Jude charity box. What a good boy you are, Thomas. May I say it? We are ethically compromised if we give the Bananaconda a seat at the table.
Bananaconda.
I don't know that we are.
Banana.
We can't trust him. He's asking us to go back on things we've known for years. Rights and wrongs. Shoulds and shouldn'ts. How can we trust him? I don't have a simple answer to that question. But here's a start.
His name? His
My
name?
name. My name is Janice.
Janice. Two faces, I get it.
Janice?
Ronan, do not laugh!
Middle school librarian? It's a stupid name. Oh, Roman, thank God you don't have a mustache. Otherwise, between you and Remus, I would know who the evil twin is.
Aww, he taught you there though.
Are you guys
You
seriously
have
going
his
to take
name.
his side? No, over me? Thomas,
Where's Virgil? He needs to be here.
I thought I was your hero. You are. Wow. I can't believe this. Did you forget that he's evil? You're not. Or you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be good. You
Well,
can't.
this is
Roman,
black and white. A shades of
everything's
grey.
gonna be okay, kiddo. We love you.
Roman needs a hug.
Right.
A big one. Oh, no, don't go. No, Roman. Come back.
Janice, do you
Sorry,
think there's a
but
limit
Janice is
on how many
the...
times someone can say sorry before you have to admit
Does sound like a girl's name, though.
that they're just
To be
bad for you?
honest.
Oh, definitely not. I'd love for someone to ruin Thomas's entire life one apology at a time. Okay. The reality is that it depends on what, where to start. How many things have they had to apologize for? How frequently do they have to apologize for things? How terrible were the things that they did? One of the biggest factors, in my very humble opinion, is whether or not they seem to be making an honest effort to do better, even if that effort is counterproductive. That does sound very annoying. Again, it depends.
Can we get some other
I
sides
guess I
from
know
here?
who I need to apologize to. I'm so sorry, Leslie. Just hope today we all learn not. Thank you, Leslie. Yes, Leslie Odom Jr. Everyone. Thank you. Yes, thank you. This is sandersides, not Odom sides. I'm not threatened at all. And Thomas, yes. I think I finally understand what my problem has been. Oh yeah? Time. When you were younger, pointing you in the right direction was a little easier. Those examples I gave earlier, don't kill, don't steal, they're not really difficult conclusions to come to. Even those can get kind of complicated. I don't want to think about that.
He really
But
does.
maybe that proves my point. A more mature person comes with more mature moral questions. Like I told you before, sometimes I don't know the way. But when I told you that, you were so scared. I couldn't bear it. So I said to myself, all right, Patton, Thomas needs you. You're responsible for his morality. You can never not have an answer for him.
It's good
And
you don't
I
have all the
promise you I'd keep
answers.
fighting. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way that giving too simple of answers to complicated questions can do more harm than good. So,
We still haven't talked to
I'm
Virgil.
sorry.
And we need to resolve
Again,
whatever's going on with
it's
Roman
okay,
because
Patton.
he needs a hug.
I know you'll do anything you can to make things right. Thanks for trusting me still, kiddo. I'm gonna go check on Roman. Before you go, I think I understand now what it means to see being here as a part of me. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, that's cool. Talk about me like I'm not here. Yeah. And it's not that I'm an evil liar or even a fractionally fiendish fibber. Everyone has a capacity for deceit, including me. And all that means is I'm not perfect,
Nobody is.
just like anyone else. And those imperfections don't make you any less worthy of love. Janice, I'll take care of him.
Okay, but I think Virgil has something to say about that.
So, I suppose now we begin compiling a list of people we need to nudge down a flight of stairs until they hold another round of callbacks. Oh my gosh, no! Relax, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Baby steps. No! No baby steps! No steps! And no throwing people down them. No violence. You're right, of course. There are much less barbaric, much more fun forms of sabotage. Don't make me regret trusting you. I don't want to be stuck with an evil snake boy. You're not stuck with an evil snake boy. You're just stuck with a snake boy. Oh, seriously, using a mobile game to hide from your sadness and regret at the wedding doesn't count as leisure time. Take some time for yourself, Thomas.
Isn't that what he's
You're
technically
right.
doing
I'm
here?
sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you. You're right. Yes! It feels so good! So good! Oh. And I know how much you love these constant dilemmas, so please, keep overthinking everything. Yeah, I do need to work on that. While there is likely more that you can do to put good into the world, you shouldn't beat yourself up over what you can't do, or what you haven't done before. It doesn't help anyone, so don't overthink it. Just try. All you have to do is try your best to be helpful and to do your part, whatever that is, with the understanding that you can never get doing good down to a science. It's going to look different for everyone. And don't be afraid to give to yourself either. If someone else ever did as much for you as you've probably done for yourself, you would owe them everything. Treat yourself the way you would treat someone who has endlessly labored to give you a better life, or who has always helped you to remain on your feet through the toughest, most emotionally challenging periods of your life. Try to find your balance between doing good for others and doing good for yourself, because finding a universally correct balance between the two is impossible. And sometimes painful. So just trust yourself.
No.
Until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out.
Oh.
Hey, guys. So sorry, bud.
I forgot, you don't like door yelling.
Nah, no worries. It wasn't so much the yelling as it was people at my door.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Yeah, can you actually marry both of us now?
Yes, please, I really want to spend the last 2 pennies in my bank account on a second wedding.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't be tamed. And it looks like you're gonna have to terrify some other more docile bachelor.
Almost had him.
I know. You didn't tell me you guys were coming over. What's up?
Well, we just felt kind of bad because you made it all the way out to our wedding and we barely got to hang out with you.
Oh, what? I barely even noticed.
Really? Because you were sitting alone at the
I was
reception.
just trying to take it all in. You know, a lot of mental snapshots. I'm trying to go less digital this year.
But you're on your phone.
I was also taking literal snapshots with my phone. I mean, phones are barely digital at this point, right?
Totally.
Well, regardless, we thought we'd try to win back your friendship by bribing you with some treats.
What? You guys didn't have to do that.
Mimosa and pastry.
Brunch Tuesdays.
Brunch Tuesday.
Little throwback.
Oh my goodness gracious, it looks like we're gonna make it the mosta this afternoon with some mimosas.
So this is like what you do for a living? Comedy?
Yeah, I'm a hack.
Well, are you busy? We could just leave these with you.
Oh no, I was just playing Kingdom Hearts, a game that really centers around the concept of friendship. Would you care to join me?
Why would you even ask us that?
What about us showing up at your door with a bunch of brunch and some booze juice makes you think that we enjoy your company?
Cool, come in. We can also do something else if you don't want to play video games. Well, seems like things worked out after all. Guess I was wrong about everything. You and I both know that's not true. I think Odom Sides would be cool. Watch Odom Sides. Do what he can do.
What is up, everybody?
Scary, but I feel okay. Okay.
Okay. That was good.